Ever wondered why airlines avoid crossing the Pacific Ocean? Planning a trip to Asia can spark a lot of curiosity, especially when you notice your flight path taking a detour over Alaska. It may leave you scratching your head, wondering if there's been a mistake, or if you've somehow selected the scenic Caribou route. Initially, one might think it's a safety precaution. After all, the Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest on our planet. It's not exactly brimming with airports for pilots to make an emergency landing. Although Alaska might not be your first choice for a pit stop, it's certainly better than the bottom of the ocean. As a potential tourism slogan might say, Alaska, at least it's better than sinking. But joking aside, the assumption that this is a safety measure isn't entirely off the mark. When pilots map out their flight paths, they often prefer routes that pass over more airports. Despite the rarity of emergencies compared to the vast number of daily flights, no pilot wants to deal with the prospect of losing an engine 30,000 feet above the Pacific. However, safety isn't the primary reason airlines avoid crossing the Pacific directly. Ultimately, it's about saving both fuel and time. Airlines are businesses after all. Their profits depend on the efficient transport of passengers from one destination to another. And let's not forget, passengers prefer quick travel too. So it's a win-win situation. In short, speed is usually the main factor in determining a flight's path, barring special circumstances like jet streams or other weather concerns. But wait, you might say, that flight path isn't a straight line. True, on a flat map, the flight path appears anything but straight. However, remember that our planet isn't flat. So, on a two-dimensional map, a detour to avoid the Pacific might seem longer, but in the three-dimensional space of our spherical world, it's a different story. So, is safety the reason airlines avoid a direct east-to-west path? Not quite, but it does play a part. The main reason, though, is a bit more complex and fascinating. As it turns out, safety isn't the primary reason, it's all about fuel efficiency. This might seem surprising at first, but when you delve a bit deeper, it all adds up. You see, airlines are businesses, and like any business, they aim to maximize profits. This is where fuel efficiency comes into play. Believe it or not, the flight path can significantly influence the amount of fuel a plane uses. By choosing a more efficient route, airlines can save thousands of gallons of fuel on a single flight. This not only saves the airline money but also reduces the plane's carbon footprint, a win-win in today's eco-conscious world. But here's the kicker. The most efficient route isn't always the shortest distance between 2 points. This is where speed comes into the equation. The faster a plane can reach its destination, the less time it spends in the air, and consequently, the less fuel it burns. Now you might be thinking, why not just push the throttle and get there faster? Well, it's not that simple. The speed at which a plane travels is a delicate balance. Go too slow and you're in the air for too long, burning unnecessary fuel. But go too fast, and the plane consumes fuel at an unsustainable rate. So, airlines and their pilots must find the sweet spot, the optimal speed that will get passengers to their destination as quickly as possible, while still maintaining fuel efficiency. This optimal speed is often influenced by factors such as the plane's weight, altitude, and weather conditions. In essence, it's a complex dance of numbers and conditions, all aimed at ensuring the plane reaches its destination in the most efficient way possible. It's not just about getting from point A to point B. It's about doing so in a way that saves time, money, and our planet. So, the next time you're on a flight, remember that speed and efficiency are the key goals. Every decision, from the route taken to the speed at which the plane flies, is carefully calculated to ensure the most efficient journey possible. But why does the flight path look like a massive detour on a flat map, you might ask? That's because the way we perceive our world and the way it actually is are two very different things. We often view the world through the lens of a flat, two-dimensional map. But as much as we love the simplicity of flat maps, they don't accurately represent our planet's spherical nature. Imagine a globe. Now picture a string stretched taut between 2 points. This string doesn't follow the latitude lines but instead curves upwards, tracing the shortest distance between the 2 points. This phenomenon is known as a great circle. It's the shortest route between any 2 points on a sphere, and it's the path that airlines aim for when planning flight routes. On a flat map, this straight line transforms into a curve, making it appear as if the flight is taking a detour, but in reality, it's just the opposite. It's the shortest path on a spherical surface. So, when you see your flight avoiding the Pacific and seemingly taking a detour over Alaska, it's not really a detour. It's just the shortest route on a globe, which looks quite different on a flat map. This difference between the flat map and the globe is called the map projection effect. It's the reason behind the apparent detour that airlines take. The Earth's curvature forces the shortest path, or the Great Circle route, to appear as a curve when projected onto a flat surface. So next time you look at a flight path and wonder why it's not a straight line, remember the Earth isn't flat. It's a sphere. And when you're flying thousands of miles, the shortest path isn't always what you'd expect. The Earth's curvature plays a significant role in determining flight paths, and it's one of the many fascinating aspects of our world that often go unnoticed. So it's not a detour, it's simply the shortest path on a spherical surface. But wait, there's more. The Earth is not a perfect sphere. Now that might be a bit of a shocker for those of us who've grown up with the image of a perfectly round Earth. But the truth is, our planet is slightly wider around the middle, just like some of us after a season of holiday feasting. This phenomenon is called an oblate spheroid, or in simpler terms, a squashed sphere. And this isn't just a minor detail that only geographers and astronauts need to worry about. Oh no, this little quirk of our planet has a significant impact on our flight paths. You see, if Earth were a perfect sphere, a straight-line flight path would look, well, straight when plotted on a globe. But since Earth bulges at the equator, that straight line starts to look more like an arc when drawn on a map. This arc, known as the Great Circle route, is the shortest distance between 2 points on a sphere. So when airlines plot their flight paths, they're not just avoiding the Pacific, they're also taking into account the Earth's shape to save as much fuel and time as possible. This means that the most efficient route between two cities often looks like a curve on a map, rather than a straight line. For instance, if you were to fly from Los Angeles to Tokyo, the shortest path would take you over Alaska, despite it seeming like a detour on a flat map. But on a globe, this route is actually closer to a straight line considering the Earth's curvature. So the next time you're on a long-haul flight and you notice your flight path curving over some unexpected locations, just remember, it's not a detour, it's just physics. The Earth's shape, along with factors like wind patterns and fuel efficiency, dictate these seemingly peculiar flight paths. So, in fact, the Earth's shape is another reason why airlines avoid crossing the Pacific directly. So, what have we learned about flight paths and the Pacific? We've voyaged through the intricacies of airline route planning, uncovering the vital factors that determine why your flight might take a seemingly meandering path across the globe. Firstly, we considered safety measures. While the Pacific Ocean's vast expanse may seem like a direct route, it's not exactly brimming with airports for emergency landings. Alaska, on the other hand, offers a safer alternative. So yes, safety does play a role, but it's not the primary reason airlines avoid crossing the Pacific. Fuel efficiency emerged as a crucial factor. Remember, an airline is a business striving for profitability, and fuel is a significant expense. By choosing routes that save fuel, airlines not only reduce costs, but also decrease travel time. And let's be honest, who wouldn't prefer to reach their destination faster? Next, we tackled the concept of Earth's curvature. While your flight path might look like a massive detour on a flat map, remember our planet isn't flat. A straight line on a globe, the shortest distance between 2 points often appears curved on a two-dimensional map. So, what seems like a roundabout route is actually the most direct path in three-dimensional space. Finally, we discussed that our Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid, slightly wider around the middle, which subtly influences flight paths. So, the curvature and shape of the Earth are significant contributors to the flight path your airline chooses. In a nutshell, the seemingly complex puzzle of flight paths boils down to a blend of safety considerations, fuel efficiency, and the physical characteristics of our planet. Each factor is meticulously considered to ensure that your journey is as safe, efficient, and quick as possible. So next time you're planning a trip, don't be surprised if your flight takes a seemingly roundabout path. It's all about efficiency and safety. Until next time, goodbye.